Hey, what's up, fam? Uh, Good news. We're going to get through chapter 3 of 1 Timothy in one shot. How about that? And Paul is writing this letter to Timothy, and he's giving Timothy guidelines for setting up the leadership in the church of Ephesus. And he tells them he explains there are actually two offices of overseers. Overseers can be called deacons, elders, even our high-level volunteers and high-level leaders. So these are some of the qualifications, and I won't read the entire chapter, but the qualification says that a husband of one wife, sober-minded, self-controlled, respectable, hospitable, able to teach, not a drunkard, not violent, but gentle, not quarrelsome, not a lover of money. He must manage his own household well, with all dignity, keeping children submissive. For if someone does not know how to manage his own household, how can he care for God's church? That's really good. Now he goes on to talk about the deacons, and it's very similar qualifications, very similar standards that he puts with him. And he ends the letter by saying, I hope to come to you soon. Wants to come to Ephesus. But I'm writing these things to you so that if I delay, you may know how one ought to behave in the household of God. Now, he wrote the letter and he says, you can call these guys deacons or elders, what have you, but both these offices, even the high-level volunteers, the standard is they must be mature, committed followers of Jesus Christ. And as you read and hear through this letter, there are a lot of character-based actions that attach to the following of Jesus. And I think we know some of those. We just read some. It's all meant to lead us towards a fruitful and observable, where people can actually see it, faithful way of living. So Paul is telling Timothy to look for these things in the chosen leadership of this church. So now how do I need to tell some of y'all? I need to tell y'all this as we read some of these things. Today is not the day for you to go read this and then go to church, looking around at your church and the leaders and be thinking, I know that guy shouldn't be a deacon. I know this guy shouldn't be leading anybody. It's not the time for you to do that. So it's really a time, and I'll challenge you, it's really a time for you to read the chapter and examine yourself. If you're a follower of Jesus Christ, you should read this chapter and the list that's shown and ask yourself, where am I on this list? How do I fit in? So if Timothy, ask yourself, if Timothy came to your church and he was heading your church and leading it, and he was looking for some leaders, what would he say about you? So I challenge you to look at this list in this chapter and what you're doing well in and what you're doing great. Thank God for that. And then ask where on the list are you failing or struggling. Ask God to help you to grow in such a way that you can live as faithful leader and an overseer in your church, if that's your desire. So yeah, think about that and how Timothy would see you, or how you would even see yourself when you read that list. Even better, we got someone even better. This is really challenging because I'm a husband and I know how this can go. Even better, ask your best friend, ask your boyfriend or your girlfriend, wife or husband, or someone who knows you really well, and ask them, take this chapter to them, read the list, and ask, hey, how am I living in this area? How am I doing in areas on this list? And a lot of us think we can teach or lead or even pastor, and that's important. But as you go through this list and check yourself, you got to ask, but how do we model and love and humility and our leadership of like Jesus Christ? That's what's most important. So examine yourself today and be ready be ready for the honest answers as to what you're doing well and what you're actually doing terrible at. And I want you to take that challenge and be ready, be prepared, make the changes, and continue growing in the areas that you're doing well. So God bless you. Talk to you soon. That's 1 Timothy chapter 3. Lord willing, we'll be moving into chapter 4 soon. Take care.